Hello again, friendly internet. I'd like to thank the optical interconnects for bringing us together today for another programming stream. So, where we left off last time was with my GitLab pipeline building with Docker build kit and the CLI build environment variables, pushing correctly to the repositories. I also, for testing, had to add another for pushing in the release stage. That's it. Huh, no. Okay, well, I thought I built a Docker Compose GitLab Docker Compose build. I thought I needed to build here. All right. Already sidetracked. So my last pipelines, let's start there. Build passed, test failed. Let's go back to where I was trying to work on this. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong side of the screen. I was looking at the diff view and not the current file. Wow. So, yeah, I did add this. I added this push specific Docker Compose YAML file so that my pipeline is fully working now with build kit. I got different combinations of compose files to fit the need of what I'm doing, as well as allowing me to run everything locally, as well as on GitLab's hosted runners. I go build, push, test, and I start testing, and this is the first issue. So test.py, and it's breaking on a page info. So since everything's can be built and run locally as well as GitLab, I don't need to commit every time. I can actually just run the same exact test that I'm running in the cloud, and everything I know is going to build exactly the same. So bulk load. I don't want to do test yet. I want to do bulk load channels, and I'm failing on create channel, and within create channel common data page info total results. So there's no page info coming back from my data. So really what I need to do here is just set a debug point and then launch .json or edit debug configurations. That means I go to collapse everything, go to my workspace file, and on my launch configurations. I need to jump inside a Docker Compose file. Okay, so everything's building containers right now. I need to be able to attach a debugger inside of a container, which as I have it right now is not possible. I don't have that set up. Everything's just running locally, which also could work. I don't have to run everything within containers the same way I am in GitLab. So rather than messing with my launch, well, I guess I still need to mess with my launch, but the strategy, instead of setting up like a Docker extension to debug within it, is I just run it with, it's not test, test is close, but, so it's going to be Django bulk load channels. And then I'm going to copy this bit. Put it here and break it up. So how do I choose my let's look at the shortcut reference for VS Code really quick. I want to know how to be able to select from this each time. So debug, Control Shift D, debug, toggle breakpoints. What is F5? Start, continue. Launch. We'll just do this. Is there a default or something here? Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'll just have to change it from here. And Python launcher manage bulk. Why uncaught exceptions? Just raise on all exceptions here. And let's get rid of my current breakpoints. Why is my debugger not connecting to on bulk load? I just want to break on handle. So I'm not actually stopping anywhere. Workspace folder. Oh, I'm not even reading it. No such file or directory. Django. Wow. Gotta read. That's the hard part. Cool. No module named Django. So if I just pip install my dependencies, I might have broken Python on this. Oh, okay, I can do that. Django requirements. No module named Django. So that's a weird error to get. Django's installed, and I'm getting no module error. Oh, I named a Python directory the same thing as a folder. Everywhere I have Django referenced in my compose files, it needs to be replaced. Okay, so I should just call this backend Django server Django backend. What can I name it besides? God, naming stuff is hard. Can't name it Django, and it's a Django app, so just go backend. So in these files, I'm going to include star.yaml, and I'm going to look for Django. Oh, how much do I change? What should I name it? Like, first of all, I shouldn't name it back. I should just name it backend. Naming variables is like the programming version of the which color to paint the bicycle shed. I got Docker files named. Okay, so Django Docker file, Django entry point, backend entry point, backend Docker file. And why? Oh God, my git ignore as well. Git ignore. Man, imagine you make this mistake like way later into a project when you got a bunch of people working on it. Yikes. Yeah, let's git ignore. Let's just get rid of the restriction real quick. YAML files. Django's fine there. Yeah. Oh, God. Docker file. Shell. From Django. Okay, let's start at the top. .env. I don't need to. This is my actual include list. I'm just using it to filter as I. Yeah, anywhere it's being referred to in a Python file that's referring to the library. Yeah, so this is the list to include Django backend replace all. So git ignore is not picking it up. No, it is. It's adding everything. It's a big diff. It's a big diff. It's going to bury anything else I've put in here. My bind folder as well. Nope. Okay, that's good. Okay. This is a commit right here. Yeah, there's going to be to support local debugging. Rename Django folder to backend. That's probably the biggest commit I've made since I've switched over into this repository. Man, and now it's actually going to test it. So ideally it should fail the same place. With page info. I will know in 4 minutes if it baked correctly. A minute for each stage, and then 2 minutes for actual processing. Um, while I wait, this can tell me if I... Man, what is this threading thing? Just go for it. No such file or directory. Django manage. In my workspace, this needs to be backend. Yeah, none of these launches actually work. There's setup.py. No module. Ooh. Backend.docker file. I named this entry point. Man. Can't tie my shoe and chew bubblegum at the same time. What's my compose look like? I have backend service, database, web server, DD client. Man, renaming stuff this late in the game is hard. That's why names are hard, because they're permanent. Connection refused. I think it's something to do with this file. Program, is there like a current working directory? Rooted or like a path or a let's put this on the correct backend load, and then bulk load channels. So this is all building from scratch because I renamed everything. I should go through and clean up. Not yet. CD Django bad GitLab Django. TMDWU Django. CD. And then get rid of this and this. It was probably dumb to rename to backend, but if this goes through, then it was a successful move. Why can't I import Django? Because it's using a Visual Studio Code. How do I do a virtual environment? Console. What's my Python? I don't have Python 3 installed. How did I get this far without Python? I have thousands of lines of Python code. Wow. Okay. Wait. Already newest version. What? 3.8. So which Python? I didn't have Python in path. Man. Path variables are not reliable. Python 3. Did I mess that up last time? I didn't ever do which Python 3. 3.8. User bin Python 3. There's a bin Python. How do I have a newer version of Python than whatever? Let's do this one. And let's run this. Manage.py. Okay, so I do need to run it within Docker because this is something else I'm hitting here. I have everything built with this example.py. And I can run this with compose, Python. I can just copy from the GitLab to recreate it. What I'm trying to do is get a debugger attached. So I can run this. Let's bring her up first. Bring her down, then bring her back up. So I will need to get the Docker extension installed. I already have it. Settings. It's probably just all from Docker. Add Docker Compose, Docker compose up. VS Code, Docker, multiple compose files. Let's just do this one. Could I like do settings for can't exactly copy because there's formatting differences. The configuration drift begins. So Docker containers view logs. I don't have an environment file. Let's go back to here and let's do type Docker. Yeah, it's just auto-completing. So Docker compose launch configurations VS Code. How to run Docker and code. Add Docker compose. Follow the prompts. If you already have one or more Docker files, so Docker compose, add files to workplace. I mean, it's all over the place. No Docker files present. Please add Docker files. Okay, so completely wipes out Docker compose. And I can just straight undo this one. Services. Image context. I want to get rid of the changes to debug. To not debug. Cool. So I have my full compose here. I have a new task launch.json.